Hello students. In chapter 2 network models, our next topic is description of each layer. As in the previous video, we see in the OSI model we have 7 layers. In this video, we are going to discuss about all the 7 layers one by one. Now let's start. In the 7 layers, now mainly OSI model is composed of 7 layers, but each of which is defined the part of the process of moving information across the network. We will discuss all the layers. First of all, in the previous video we see the top 3 layers are the host layers, or we can say that these are the user spot layers. Application layer, presentation layer, and session layer are our host layers, and the below 3 layers, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer are our media layers, and we also call them as the network support layers because the main responsibility of these are, or you can say the domain of these 3 layers is related to the links, means how the data or the packet is transferred from one particular node to the another node. Okay, and the transport layer is the middle part between the above 3 layers and between the below 3 layers. This one is linked both the groups, media layers groups as well as the host layer groups, and provide the services from the lower group to the upper group, and take data from the upper group and provide this to the lower group and pass this data to the physical medium, and the communication is possible. Now let's see. First layer is the physical layer. This is the first layer in our OSI model. Physical layer is the lowest level or lowest layer of the OSI model, and the main responsibility of the physical layer is the movement of data, or you can say the movement of bits. Why we call here is bits? Because in physical layer, our protocol data unit is the bits, zeros and ones. Data is represented here. You see in the protocol physical layer, the protocol data unit is bits, and we represent data in the form of ones and zeros, bit streams. Okay, from one hop to the next hop, or you can say the another hop. Here you see, if we say this is the sender side and this is the receiver side, as this particular bit stream movements from one node to the next node, or you can say the sender to the receiver, is the responsibility of the physical layer. And these two nodes are connected through some types of transmission medium. That medium may be the wireless medium or maybe the wired medium. Means wired means we can say it is a cable, or in wireless medium we can say it is a type of signal like satellite communication through radio waves or infrared waves, this type of mediums. Okay, and the second thing is transmission medium does not carry the bits. Does not carry the bits means in our data machines we represent here, in our machines we represent the bits in the form of data. We represent bit data. Okay, but for the physical medium, this bits are travels in the form of signals. These bits are travel in the form of signals. Okay, so transmission medium does not carry bits, it carries the electrical or optical signals. Means we need any type of converter which converts this data into signals, and at the other side or receiver side converts signal again into the data. Signal convert into the data means we need here the converters. We need some type of converters. Okay, and for this conversion we also need some type of techniques which convert our bits into the signals or represent the bits into the signals. So for that we have encoding schemes. Encoding schemes are used to convert our bits into signals. Bits into signals. We have we represent data in the form of analog data or analog data or digital data, and signals also we have uh, analog signals, or digital signals. So we need some type of convergence or encoding schemes which convert this data in the form of signals. Mainly we have four type of encoding schemes. First, analog digital to analog conversion, digital to digital conversion, analog to analog conversion, and analog to digital conversion. So four type of encoding schemes we have for all type of possible conversions. Second thing is the next point here is the synchronization of bits. Synchronization of bits means when the sender is sending data to the receivers, that sender send data in the form of bits, and receiver is always check the possible bits coming from the sender side. Means every time he know the correct bit is received by him or her, that is sent by the sender. So some type of synchronization is needed between the sender and receiver clocks. For that we have the transmission modes. For that we have transmission modes. We will discuss all these topics one by one in the next coming chapters. Next is line configuration. Line configuration means you can say this one is a types of connections between the devices. This topic we already discussed in the chapter 1 in the introduction to models. Mainly we have two type of connection, that is point to point connection, and second is multi-point connection, or you can say the broadcast link. Next is the physical topologies. Topologies is the network structure. Network structure means how our devices are connected in a network that is made by the devices. Topology we already discussed, mainly five type of topology we discussed: ring topology, bus topology, star topology, okay, mesh topology, and hybrid topologies. Transmission modes, as I already mentioned this point earlier, these are the main for the synchronization of bits. So this is the main functions of the physical layers. Means physical layer is responsible for the movement of bits from one node to the another node, and with these movements we need these some additional functions also to provide that reliable transfer of bits, reliable movement of bits. Now our next stage, data link layer. As the name of this layer representing here, this is related to data. Data means as from the network layer, the PDU is the datagrams or the packets. Means at the physical layer, we represent PDU as a bits. Means between the physical layer and network layer, our layer is data link layer. The network layer, and between the physical layer, our data link layer. Here the PDU is the packets or the datagrams. Packets or the datagrams. And here the PDU is bits. Means we need some type of technology which divide these particular datagrams of size 2 to the power 16 bytes into smaller entities or into smaller groups. That groups are handled by our LAN technologies, which are not able to transfer at a time these the big size of data. It means 2 to the power 16 size of data. So here we use the technology that is framing or frames. The PDU here has frames. Frames means at data link layer we divides the datagram received from the network layer into manageable data units and encapsulate them in a packet called frame. Means the main concept here is the framing of the data units. Framing encapsulate the particular division or the datagram part, which one is divided into a packet, and add the header as well as the teller to that payload. Means framing means we divide that payload part, we add header part as well as the tailor part, and we call this one is a frame. This one is a frame, and pass that frame to the physical layer. At the physical layer we convert this one into the bits of zeros and ones. And because of this division, our communication is very helpful with the LAN technologies and easy handled by our LAN technologies. Second, one of the main important point in the data link layer is the hop to hop delivery, or you can say the node to node delivery responsibility. Node to node delivery responsibility. So many times the questions are asked in gate, NAT, ISRO. What is the main responsibility of the data link layer? Data link layer is responsible for the hop to hop delivery or node to node delivery. We will discuss this at the last of this particular video. Here, next is physical addressing. Physical address, or we also have the second name of this one as the MAC address. MAC address. This is a 48-bit address on the NIC card, network interface card of your machine, and this number is a globally unique number. This one is provided by your manufacturer of the machine. Second is error detection and connection techniques. Here error detection and connection techniques are needed because we already told node to node delivery, and this delivery is reliable delivery. Reliable delivery means if any losses occur during the transmission, then the receiver send a request to send again the same package, which one is lost or having some error during the transmission. Okay. Second thing is flow controls. Flow controls means you see sometimes the producer is producing so many items that are not consumed by the consumer. Okay, means at the consumer side so many items becomes buffered, and at a time come the buffer of the consumer is full, and the items get dropped. So means flow control is needed to overham the receiver. Means, or you can say the sender is sending data according to the receiver buffer. Means how much data is handled by the receiver. We need some type of flow. Sender is not sending data from his side and receiver is not able to handle that data. Packets get dropped. This type of condition will not occur. So we need some type of flow controls. Next is access control. Access control means when so many devices are sharing common, you can say, share channels, then how will they access into this channels or send data through this channel? uh, because of this sending, the data not get lost or lost, or some packets are not dropped by the uh, particular channel, or any type of problem will collision type of problem will not occur in this channel. For that we have some access control techniques. Because of these access control techniques, this reliable node to node delivery is possible. Okay, these are the main functions of the data link layer. Next is network layer. Network layer is mainly responsible for creating the connection between the source and the destination. Here, this is the source, or you can say the sender, and here is the destination. When the source and destinations are present in different networks, so that's it is the responsibility of network layer to creating a connection between the source computer and the destination computer, or you can say the source to destination delivery of a package. When the both the sender and receiver are present in the same network, it is easy to send the particular packets. But when they are belonging to the different networks, means if some router in between them, or having different networks between them. For example, this is router 1, this is router 2, this is one LAN, between them some different network, and this is one different network. Means your packet needs to cross so many networks. Your packet needs to cross so many networks. So this type of connection is needed between the source and destination, so that packet will be correctly delivered to the destination, accurately delivered to the destination. Okay, so for that, network layer is responsible. Network layer is responsible, and for that delivery we need a different type of address. Means in this network, this particular destination machine is uniquely identified, and in the this network our source machine is also uniquely identified. For that, we need a logical type of address, or you can say that IP address, or you can say that IP address. IP address is the responsibility of or our network layer. And you see here, this network, this router is handling data from so many machines or from the different networks. On the basis of the header information in the packet, router needs to take a decision in which direction the packet is forwarded. For that, he needs to maintain some information in which network the particular destination is present, to which he needs to forward the packet. For that, he needs to maintain some type of routing tables. And on the basis of these routing tables, our particular router takes the decision to transfer the packet. Okay, so routing is also the responsibility of network layer. Routing means taking the decision of the package to forward it into the correct destination direction. Routing means maintaining the routing tables of the routers. But on the basis of these routing tables, the router takes the decisions. Okay, and this is the internet protocol. IP protocol is a very important protocol for our network, computer networks communication. Okay, next stage, transport layer. Transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery. Process to process delivery means here is in our sender's machine or in our source machine, so many processes are running simultaneously. For example, here a process A, process B, or process C. Process is any program in execution. Okay, means I'm saying if you are using in your computer simultaneously you are browsing any file from any server, or you are downloading a movie, means here I'm saying you are downloading something, download a movie from any server. Here your YouTube is going on, and here you are using any type of service, means you are sending an email. Okay, and at the destination, this is for example the YouTube server. Okay, and you're browsing a movie, means this is your process. At YouTube, a video is particularly playing on your laptop or your computer, and this video is fetched from the Google server. This is also a process in the YouTube server or Google server if you are using any service from the Google. Okay, so that means a process. Here is also a process is running in your computer, and here is also a process running in the YouTube server computer. Okay, so this process to process delivery is the responsibility of the transport layer. The particular process is running on your computer to provide services that process after fetching data from the server, that is a process to process delivery. Or you can say that means if you're using sending an email to your friend, means in your computer you are writing email in your Gmail. That email writing is a process, and your friend is also receiving the mail. He is reading your mail, or she is reading your mail. That is also a process. Means correct delivery of that mail from your computer to the particular your friend computer, and from sending to the receiving, from writing to the reading. Both this is a process to process delivery. Okay, and here this is the particular thing. At the session layer, we have data of any size. Okay, and at the transport layer, we divide this data in the form of segments. We divide this data in the form of segments. Okay, this is the segmentation and reassembling of also the responsibility of transport layer. Service point addressing means the process addressing, the process address. We also call that one as the port number, means which type of service you are using on your computer. That is a service point addressing, or the port number. Means if you are sending an email, you are using the SMTP protocol that have a different port number. That is a different service. Sending email is a service, and your friend is accepting your email. is accept your email through the POP protocol or either through the IMAP4 protocol. That both protocols have a different port number because their service is to opening of the or you means taking the particular email from the server. Okay, connection control. Connection control means this one is very important in the transport layer because we have two types of connection. One is connection oriented service, and the second is the connectionless service. Second is the connectionless service. Connection oriented means we provide the services or we transfer the data through a connection which is reserved for the both source and destination. Connectionless means just your sender send the data in the network. How's that particular packet crossing the network and reach to the destination? That is not the responsibility of sender. He just inject the particular packet into the network. Packet will travel or passes through the routers or networks and receive to the destination is not the responsibility. Means connectionless. There is a no connection between the sender and receiver. Means so, and there is no type of not any type of reservation. Okay, there is not any type of reservation. Means you can say that if I will explain this with the help of a simple daily life example. Suppose you are going from Delhi to Mumbai. Okay, you book your train ticket from Delhi to Mumbai. Means and a seat is reserved for you. Means you reserve that seat, you reserve that resource. You will use that resource for moving from Delhi to the Mumbai. That is a connection oriented type of thing. Connectionless means you just take a train from Delhi and passing through the different cities, change some trains in between Delhi and Mumbai, and you reach the Mumbai. Means that is not a connection oriented. Means you not reserved any resources earlier. Okay, there is no connection between the Delhi and Mumbai already maintained. You just means you go from Delhi to Indore and from Indore to Gandhinagar or Ahmedabad, and after that you reaching Mumbai. Okay, means you are moving through different cities. It is the responsibility of yourself. Same as it is the responsibility of packet. How the packet is passing through the different networks and reach to the destination. There is no resource reservation earlier. There is not any dedicated path between the source and destination. Packet will follow that path. Okay, that is connection oriented and connection less. Second is the flow control. Flow control is also the responsibility of our transport layer, as well as error control is also the responsibility of our transport layer. Okay. Next is the session layer. Session layer is mainly responsible for the services we provide to the user. Means uh, I will tell you a simple example. Like when you are access or login into the SBI website or any banking website. Okay, you just log in your SBI website. SBI में आप we log in into the SBI website, enter the ID and password, and just log in. But you didn't doing anything there. Just check your balance or transfer some money to your friend, and after that time you are not doing anything for 2 or 3 minutes. And just for after that 2 or 3 minutes, you want to do anything. Just that show you a message. Your session is uh, out or your session is completed. You need to please log in again. Means session means that provides you a window for some time to do something. Okay, means stabilize, maintain, and synchronize the interaction between your computer and between the SBI server. Okay, two communicating devices. The computer is a communicating device, and the SBI server is also a communicating device. Stabilize a interaction session between you, your computer, and the SBI server. Okay, for some time a window is created for you for your communication. So session layer is mainly responsible for establishing, maintains, and synchronization of the interactions or sessions between the communication devices. For how much time you need to use that service of SBI bank, you're doing your transactions. If you are not doing anything, session is out, session is completed. And if you want to do anything, you need to log in again. And next thing is the dialog control. Dialog control means allows two systems to enter into a dialog. And same thing as we see um, the session dialog control. Okay, at the data at the present session layer, our PDU is the message. Our PDU is the message. So we not need to do any type of division, and we not need to do any type of restriction on the data size, because message is of any size at the session layer. At the service means you can say the services provided by the physical layer, data layer, and network layer are not sufficient for some processes. For that, we need to maintain some services at the session layer. Here, synchronization is also come. Synchronization, but this synchronization is provided through the checkpoints. Through the checkpoints. Checkpoint means you think that with an example like your system is sending a 2000 page files. Okay, you insert a checkpoint at after 100 page you receive an acknowledgement, means that 100 page transfer is successful. Total you have 2000 page. Okay, after 100 page you set up, means you get an acknowledgement the transfer is successful. Transfer is successful. You send first 100 page, you get an acknowledgement successful. You get second 100 page, you get acknowledgement successfully. Same way you are transferring. For example, you are sending a window 500 to 600 page, but at some place, for example, as page number 523, as page 523, the transmission is get some problem, and the transfer is not completed. Transfer is not completed. You didn't get any acknowledgement. Means you need to recover this page number 501 to 5023. Sorry, 501 to 523. Page previous to 501 needs not to be resent because they are already acknowledged. Your synchronization is up to page number 500 is completed. You need to recover, you need to resend the page number from 501 to 523. This type of synchronization is maintained at the session layer. This type of synchronization is maintained at the session layer. Okay. Next is authentication and authorization. Authentication is the process by which an identity is checked. Identity is checked. Identity in check means you can say when you are logging into any, for example, SBI bank, you enter your ID and password. If your ID and password matched, you get your profile page. If your ID and password is not matched, showing you error, incorrect ID or incorrect password. Means identity is checked at there. That is a type of authentication. Second thing is authorization. Authorization is the process by which the user privileged are ascertained. Means you get some to do. You have authority to take decisions. You have authority to change some things. Okay, that is all the responsibility of session layer. So many questions are asked in the NET, ISRO, and NILET exams on the basis of these things. Authentication and authorization are the responsibility of which layer. Okay, these type of questions are asked in so many exams. Next is the presentation layer. Mainly presentation layer takes data from the application layer, and the PDU here is also the message means any size. There is no restriction on the size of the message. Okay, concerned with the syntax and semantics of the information changed. Syntax and semantics of the information changed means here you to do a type of things which secure your data, which change your data representation. Means at the application layer you write hi friend. At the presentation layer we use a type of algorithm which change my hi friend into 1 2 3 4 5 6, or or you can say it changed our x p 8P7 9GP4 means a conversion in your data that is only understand by your algorithm. Okay, means syntax and semantics of the information are exchanged. Okay, at the receiver side, this one is reached to your presentation layer. After that, it is also again changed. At the receiver side, you receive this one XP79GP4, and at the application layer, this one is again changed by the conversion as a hyphen. Hyphen means a type of a type of encryption and decryption is the responsibility of the presentation layer. Type of encryption and decryption is the responsibility of your presentation layer. And second important is the compression and decompression, means your data size is changed. Uh, some we use a digest type of algorithms, means which compress our data. Okay, digital signature type of things we need, massive digest type of things are needed here. Means or some compression algorithms are used here to reduce the size of your data. Okay, compression and decompression. And one is translation. Translation is also an important part. We will discuss this one later. Next is the application layer. Application layer is very important for you because user directly interact with the application layer. Means application layer is responsible for providing services to the user. User means your computer, your softwares, your processes running in your computer. Okay, providing services to the users means what the user want to do, that is the mainly responsibility of the application layer. User give its input at the application layer, and that input going through the below layers to the particular other side computer or the server and take services from that and provide you on your computer. Okay, means you can say here the communication is between two processes. The communication is between two processes that I already discussed in the transport layer. Like you are sending an email to your friend, you send your email and your friend is received that email and reading that email. This is your communication between the two processes. Or you are taking an online class, your online class, here your teacher is giving the online class and now you are watching your online class. Okay, means here is a process is running and here you're watching that online class is also a process, means that is a process to process communication. Your teacher is interacting with his computer, writing on the pad or deliver the ppt on his computer or her computer, and now you are watching that video, streaming that video on your computer, means both are the process. Mainly the other responsibilities of the application layer are like file transfer. You are sending a file to your friend, pdf file to your friends, or sending email to your friends. In that you are attached pdf file, word file or anything, and access to other type of services like when you are doing some online things or watching moving online, that is also a services provided to you through the application layer. Next is the management. Management means some type of network management. We have different protocols for the network management. Okay, is also the responsibility of the application layer. Uh, till now we discussed all the 7 layers one by one, and what are the main functions of that layers. Okay, just we in the next slide we will take a look, a summary of all the layers. Summary of all the layers. What are the main responsibilities of all the layers in a short manner? Now, summary of the layers. Here we will go through the physical layer first of all. Physical layer is mainly responsible for transmitting bits over a medium, and that bits are travel in the form of mechanical or in the form of electrical signals through that medium. Next is the data link layer. Data link layer mainly is functioning is the framing and the hop to hop delivery. Framing divide the particular datagram packets into the frames, add the header and teller to the and encapsulate them into the frame and send that frame to the nodes. Network layer responsibility. Network layer is mainly for responsible for the connection between the source and destination. and your packet is passing through the different networks, through the different networking devices. Means you can say the internetworking type of things. Here we use the protocol that is the IP protocol. Transport layer is mainly a layer between the media groups, media layers and the host layers. It provides a link between them, mainly responsible for the reliable process to process delivery. Reliable process to process delivery means have the error detection and correction type of things. If any data is lost or received corrupt at the receiver side, the receiver sent an acknowledgement or message to the sender, please resend me that particular packet that's corrupted during the transmission or lost during the transmission. Session layer is mainly responsible for managing the sessions between the devices, establish, maintains, and synchronization between the sessions. Presentation layer is mainly responsible for encryption, decryption, compression of data, and translation of data. Application layer is responsible for the user interaction, provide user, or you can say allow user to access to different type of services or resources present at the internet. So these are the main descriptions about the function of the layers. What are the main functionalities of the layers? Why we design these layers? What are the different protocol at these layers? We will discuss in a small time. Okay. So please go through this particular video to understand the coming chapters, because if you already know what are the main things going on these layers, then it is easy for you to understand how these things are implemented in these layers. Why we need to define these functions in these particular layers, not on other layers.